Hi, I'm Debbie Stewart. I live in Bel Air, Maryland. I'm 56 years old. I'm a wife and mother, a nurse, and a 2-time breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer in 1979 at the age of 25, and again the stage 1 breast cancer in the other breast in 1999. Today is August 22nd, 2009. It's my 30th anniversary. I am cancer-free, and I suspect I will never have breast cancer again. That's all I can hope for. I've always been healthy, so having breast cancer was a shock. Having no family history was a shock, and being 25 was really a surprise. I was diagnosed the first time at a community hospital. I had found a lump at the age of 22, 23. I was doing breast self-exam, and the doctor and I decided that I was too young. I still hear women say that today. I was put in the hospital for a diagnosis of the breast cancer with an excisional biopsy. 2 days later, I had a mastectomy, and that's a lot of history behind us. I remember thinking at that young age that I was too young, wrong age, that if I just waited 20 years till I was the right age, maybe that breast cancer would be given different treatment options, or maybe we would find a cure by then. Little did I know that really 20 years later I would be diagnosed with a second breast cancer. That was 10 years ago at the age of 46. It was a stage 1 invasive lobular cancer that was diagnosed. Leading up to that, it was actually found as DCIS on the mammogram with the changes in the calcium. The radiologist actually did the biopsy in the office and called me 3 days later. I remember being very bold and saying, "Tell me something good about this cancer." And he said, "It's very treatable. Stage 0 is actually almost curable." Probably is. And I took that as meaning I would be okay, that I would get through this. I had some decisions to make, so the question the pathologist then asked me is, where will your pathology be read? And I said, I don't know. And he said, that's very important, so be thinking about it. I decided to go to Hopkins Breast Center because it was multidisciplinary, because they did have breast designated pathologists, and I went to see the surgical oncologist. He said I now have treatment options. I could have a lumpectomy, a mastectomy, or a mastectomy with reconstruction. Big decisions, lots of energy, and I knew that that's what would happen. The energy that goes into thinking about this experience started from the very beginning diagnosis. It takes a lot of thought. And I had decisions to make, so I got a second opinion, which I didn't do the first time. I bought a big book from Dr. Susan Love, which I did not have access to. We weren't able to Google at that time at my home, but I know that there was much more information in the libraries than prior at Cancer Experience. Plus, the doctor handed me some literature. I talked to my family and friends, but most importantly, I thought about what I wanted. My second opinion suggested a lumpectomy very strongly, and I thought, well, that's right for this kind of cancer, but it wasn't really right for me. So I went back to Hopkins, and that doctor listened to me, and I had a mastectomy. And the reason I chose that is because I thought if I had it before and I have it now, it's likely I'm going to have it again. Both doctors looked at an area on the mammogram that looked suspicious and would need to be evaluated further. I had the mastectomy only, no other treatment needed. My pathology read as a 4 millimeter invasive lobular cancer, along with the DCIS and Paget's disease in the breast. So obviously, that decision to have a mastectomy was indeed the right one for me. I was often astonished that I did that, and that the outcome was much better than if it was delayed. I was not offered clinical trials then. They weren't, especially in 79 and 99, it didn't come up, especially because I only had a mastectomy. But I do remember thinking, who stepped forward to say that lumpectomy was an option? Who found out that this could be? To help me heal through the past 30 years, I have used complementary medicine, yoga, meditation, acupuncture, to get ready for reconstructive surgery, which I had just 3 years ago, which they actually took belly fat and skin and moved it to my breast. I did all of those things just to get my head in the right place and be in the right frame of mind. To speak a bit more on this reconstruction, I went from having 2 bilateral mastectomies, wearing a prosthesis, which I figured I would do all the rest of my life, to actually having fat and skin taken from my belly in a deep flap procedure, placed in as breast flaps. I look good in my bra, I must say. I have cleavage, and it's been a very transforming experience. Things that I've done to help myself, though, I haven't used nutritional supplements. I have changed my diet. But then my husband and I look at heart health, and we think about colon health and all of those other things. So we eat foods that are fresh and in season. We cut back on red meats, keep that cholesterol low. We eat whole foods. So we really do try to keep a good diet for all kinds of reasons, not just cancer reasons. I believe in exercise, and I had opportunities in the past to join health clubs, to go to Women in Weights and just get really good shape. The one exercise that has carried me through for the past 20 years has been walking. I walk frequently. I walk twice a week now that I'm working, but before that it was 5 days a week, year-round. Walking reduces stress. It releases endorphins. It usually is done with another friend, and it's great. So stress reduction for me is done through exercise. I've learned a lot about through my breast cancer experience. I've learned about grief. I've learned about compassion and understanding. I, as a nurse, had no idea truly what a patient goes through until I was on the other side of the bed rail. Life changes. There are many blessings to be found. I would be very happy to speak with a woman newly diagnosed with breast cancer.